What's happening, sports fans? I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Good Friday to you. It is the weekend, baby. Hope you had a good week. We're talking the legend, the Hall of Famer, one of the faces on the Mount Rushmore of dunkers, Dr. J. Julius Erving. He has a list. We're going to get to that list here in just a second. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Again, hope you had a good week. We're talking basketball. Speaking of basketball, the NBA in-season tournament championship game, it is going down on tomorrow night. We got the Lakers and the Pacers that will be playing for it all, for some money and for a in-season tournament trophy. It's the first season for that, so that'll be something to watch on tomorrow. But let's get to Dr. J. He was one of my first idols growing up as a young fella. He and Muhammad Ali, when you talk about athletes, those two were the first idols that I looked up to. Well, I ran across an article on basketballnetwork.net, and Dr. J gave his list, and his list of the top 3 leapers in the history of the NBA. And one of those names probably would surprise you. And it was a name that was left off, but the 3 that he mentioned and said that they are the top 3 in his mind of all time is David Thompson, Dominique Wilkins, and Vince Carter. Dr. J says they're kind of in a class by themselves in terms of leaping, and he said they are the 3 that make leaps look very interesting because they could finish, and they also, he would go on to say, they had some flashiness with their finish. Now, he said that he didn't base this on who jumped the highest, but just because of those 2 things, who could finish and they made their leaps looking interesting. So I'm sure a lot of people probably were shocked that Michael Jordan was left off that list, but hey, it's Dr. J. He's a legend. He didn't include himself, so I get what he's saying. Now, David Thompson, if you don't know about him, Michael Jordan has mentioned him in quite a few interviews of one of the guys he looked up to as well. He played at North Carolina State, played a few years in the NBA with the Denver Nuggets and the Seattle Supersonics, 6'4", and could leap out of the gym. So David Thompson, I was quite aware of him, but he had some injuries, so his NBA career did not really take off. Now, this did get me to thinking about another list in my mind, some of the best in-game dunkers of all time in the NBA. I have my list. I want you to make your list and put it in the comment, and let's talk about it. I broke mine up into first team and second team. I made a third team too, but first and second team, this is my best in-game dunkers in the NBA of all time. Again, this is my first team. Obviously, I'm going with your airness MJ, going with Dr. J as you see here. I'm going with Dominique Wilkins. I'm going with Vince Carter. And I'm going with Shawn Kemp. That is my first team of the best in-game dunkers of all time. Now, my second team, I'm going with Clyde the Glide Drexler, Kobe Bean Bryant, LeBron James, Tracy McGrady, and Derrick Rose. That is my second team of the best NBA in-game dunkers of all time. Now, my third team, I'm going with Dwayne Wade, Stevie Francis, Zach LaVine, and Gerald Green. So those are my picks for best in-game dunkers in the NBA. I ain't talking about the slam dunk contest. I'm talking about when they can do something, put one on somebody in a game, and it's like, ooh, make you say, ooh, you make that face as well. Now, some other names that I thought about: Charles Barkley, Ricky Davis, Isaiah Ryder, Scottie Pippen, and Robert Pack. So those are my list of best in-game dunkers in NBA history of all time. Again, my first team is Mike, Dr. J, Dominique, Vince Carter, and Shawn Kemp. Again, this is my list. You may not agree with it, but it's my list. I'd like to know what your list is. And if you got a second and third team, make sure you put it in the comments. Let's chat about it a little bit. What you think about that. Now, also, what you think about Dr. J's list of the top 3 leapers of all time. Make sure you comment on that as well. Like the video. Subscribe to the channels if you haven't already done so. I am Kendrick, the sports guy. We will see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out. Peace.